Hello. I chose to do my student choice project on creating a training video tutorial discussing the basic functions and operations of the Architect i2000 analyzer. The Architect i2000 SR system uses chemiluminescent microparticle immunoassay technology to measure the analyte concentrations and samples. It's capable of running serum, plasma, whole blood, and even urine. The tests that are performed in our lab on the Architect are troponin I, HIV, beta HCG, cortisol, prolactin, and testosterone. At the beginning of every shift, we want to make sure that we have all the supplies that are necessary for the Architect to run. We don't want to run into any issues throughout the shift, especially if we're running something critical like a troponin. Some of the things that are important to have are the reaction vessels. There's a pre-trigger and a trigger solution, and you also want to make sure that your waste bin is emptied out. The way that someone would check the supply levels is they would go from the main screen, they would click on the tab that says supply, and then just go over all the consumables to make sure that there's plenty of them and we are all stocked and ready to go. While checking the supplies, if we see that we're running low on one of the consumables, then we would have to either replace or replenish them. The RVs are topped off by lifting a lid that's located at the top of the Architect to the right side, right by the monitor. It's supposed to be filled back up to the max fill line, but not above it because RVs tend to cause a jam if we fill them above that line. If the trigger or the pre-trigger, which are color-coded here, the red is the trigger and the yellow is the pre-trigger, are running low, you just have to simply unscrew the top cap and replace it with a newly supplied bottle of trigger or pre-trigger. Now, if we're seeing that the waste basket is getting full, we'll just go ahead and pull it out and dump it into the nearest biohazard bin. Just like we check the consumable supplies at the beginning of the shift, the other important thing to check for is the reagents. You want to make sure that you have enough reagents to get you not only through your shift, but from 24 hours from the time that you took over. So in order to check the reagents, we would simply click on the reagents tab at the top of the screen, closer to the right, and we would just go down the list here, looking at all the different reagent packs we have and how many assays are remaining on every single pack. A good rule of thumb that we are taught at my place of employment is that we must have at least 50 assays remaining on every single reagent pack. If one was to see that there's less than 50 assays left for a particular assay, then we would just go ahead and replenish it with a brand new reagent pack. If reagents need to be replaced or more need to be added because we're running low, we would have to put the Architect into standby mode. Once it's in standby mode, we would open the front processing center cover and then the reagent carousel cover. Now there's a module that's right around over here that we can't see pictured here, but it lets you spin the carousel to the left or to the right until a position that you would like to place the reagent bottles into comes into view. Before placing the reagent bottles onto the analyzer, we have to prep them. The microparticle bottle, which has the lavender/pink band around it, must be inverted 30 times to resuspend the microparticle dot that is located at the bottom of the bottle, which can be seen once one inverts the bottle. After the inversion of the microparticle is done, and we made sure of it, we would remove the caps and check for any bubbles that might be present inside of the reagent bottles. If there are any bubbles present, we must remove them with either a clean applicator stick or a disposable pipette. After that has been done, we must seat the septum, which is this thing, onto every single bottle. We must not forget to take the caps off, because if we do, and when the probe starts coming down to aspirate the reagent, it would either break or shut our instrument down. So while loading reagent bottles, we must put them in their color coordinated ring locations. So we have a yellow color band, a pink color band, which is the microparticle bottle, and then we have one with a green color band. The main thing to do is to make sure that while they're being placed onto their location, that they're firm and not tilted, and you want to make sure that the barcode is facing in towards the barcode reader, and that's located in the center, right around over here. After that's done, you would just close the reagent carousel cover and the front processing center cover, and since we were in standby, we would just go ahead and start the instrument back up. Troponin I is one of the most, if not the most important test that we are performing in the core laboratory, which I work at. It's an indicator of there was a heart attack or a myocardial infarction. Now, a good rule of thumb that we use is that we run the stat samples, such as troponin I, as they come. We don't batch them. We don't wait for another one to come by. We just put them on the analyzer as soon as they come, so we can get those results out as quick as we can to the providers. We also don't want to batch them or put them together along with any of the tests that were listed in the beginning of the PowerPoint, because those tests could either take a lot longer than troponin does, which is around about a 15-minute turnaround time for troponin, while those tests could take anything from 30 minutes to all the way up to an hour.